Welcome back. You've had a chance to set up your DeepRacer, you've connected it to Wi-Fi. There's one final step before you can get to racing, and that's to physically calibrate the DeepRacer itself. Go ahead and log into the IP address of your DeepRacer. Now, you probably need to be on the same Wi-Fi router as the DeepRacer in order to connect to it. I've already connected to mine, and it is time to calibrate. So on the left-hand side, select calibration. Let's start with calibrating the steering. The first thing it asks you to do is to set the vehicle on the ground. Now for me, I've taken just the roll of tape that comes with the car and balanced the car on top of that. All four wheels are free to turn. They can steer right and left. That way we can see how fast they go, make sure they're calibrated. I'm all set. Click Next. So now we want to calibrate the steering angle. I'll rotate this towards you. An important thing to remember in steering is the left wheel and the right wheel are never parallel to each other. This is part of that Ackerman steering that allows it to corner so well. We want to calibrate this car so that the left wheel is aligned with the back wheel. So in this case, we've got a slider here, and as we turn it more towards -10, the wheels are turning more to the right. As we go more towards +10, the wheels turn more to the left, until eventually we find that perfect line that says the left wheel front, left wheel back are aligned. Now the nice thing is when you're done with all this calibration, if you come back next week, next month, you can always recalibrate your car. That looks pretty good to me. Next step. Now we want to find out what the maximum left is. And just like power steering, there's a certain maximum that the wheels can turn, even though you could try to turn the steering wheel past that point. In this case, all the way at 30 degrees left, I can hear that the servos are kind of maxed out. So let's go ahead and back it down a bit. So as we turn it down and bring it forward, eventually the wheels start turning towards the right. And then we go back towards the left until the wheels do not turn anymore, and that becomes the maximum left angle. So we're going to click through here a bit. Still turning. And that seems to be about it. So it looks like 24 degrees left is going to be my maximum left turn. Let's take a look at right. Again, defaults to -30. Let's go ahead and back that out. Okay, and now as the wheels are turning again, let's go ahead and rotate it until they stop turning. Okay. And that's about it. So -20 to the right also becomes my maximum right. And that's it. We are done with calibrating the steering. Our next step is to actually calibrate the speed. So let's go ahead and hit that. Now, again, as you calibrate the speed, it's important to make sure these wheels can turn freely because you're about to run these wheels as fast as they can go. We want to know what the maximum forward velocity of your vehicle is. And oddly enough, we want to know what the maximum reverse velocity of your vehicle is. Now, right now, we don't compete the cars driving backwards, but the car certainly can drive backwards. So once we're set, your wheels spin freely. The next step is to find out what stopped is. Your car has a drive battery, and that car battery is sending out a charge, and we need to know at what point of the charge do the wheels think is 0. So for example, if I go to what is marked as 0 on my element here, my wheels are actually turning backwards. 0 is not 0 for me. So if I reduce that a little bit, eventually, and I can hear a little bit of a whine, and the whine goes away at -6. This to me is a neutral charge. Nothing's moving forward, nothing's moving backwards. That's great for me. Now, when you click Next, it's about to get really loud because now we're trying to see how fast the car can go. Let me turn that down for a bit. This next screen is a simple one. We just want to make sure we've got the battery oriented properly and that forward is forward. So All we're doing right here is checking to make sure the wheels are turning in the right direction. Once they are, let's set our forward speed. So now we calibrate the maximum forward speed. And this is how many meters per second your car will drive when it is at 100% throttle. Now you'll notice that you get to pick how fast it's going, whether you're going a normal speed of a couple meters per second. Right now in our competitions, we're getting people up as fast as 4 meters, 5 meters per second, but that's getting into the turbo range and possibly the dangerous range. So you'll set what you consider to be a good fast speed. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and set it up at about a 27 or so. We can see the wheels are moving forward. Next step, backwards. And once again, we want to set what's our maximum backward speed. Go ahead and set it at a speed you're comfortable with. And click done. All right. That's it. The car is calibrated and you're ready to race.